I used to think that healing was fixing something broken, like how one fixes something faulty on a car. But the reality of how energy healing works is much more amazing than we'd expect. Welcome back to another exciting video from Dragonfly Awakening. I'm Eric. If you haven't caught my other video on healing where I shared how life shaped my path in becoming a healer and the fascinating aspect of healing in general, the link for that video is in the description here. So join me now in taking a closer look at exactly how healing happens. Understanding how healing really works is important for those who wish to receive healing and perpetuate its effects. Mooji, one of my most favorite teachers, touched on an important key factor when he said, "Beliefs have no power over us unless we give them the power of our belief." This is true for the law of attraction, for manifestation, and of course for healing. Belief is a critical component to receiving healing and maintaining it. When we scratch our skin and bleed, we only need to clean and bandage the wound. The body does the rest. Our bodies know how to repair the tissue. It's not something we need to take part in. Just the same, the spirit understands how to heal our larger wounds when it comes into contact with healing energy or frequency. We don't need to take part in all the details, but for just believing. Healing is not a procedure like with something we fix, like a flat tire. It's simply a restoration to health. In a simple healing session, the client is introduced to a healing energy or a resonance. If they are receptive to it, their deeper energy fields begin to resonate in that same energy frequency. This allows them to release what they were holding on to, the misaligned energy or tension and resistance, and allows their own energy field to then be restored to fullness. When I work with a client, my specialties are a few. I help energetically support those to follow their passions and their soul purpose. I help others find their sacred space through meditation for spiritual awakening, and I help promote healing both mentally and physically through energy work and attuned dialogue. I do this in two different ways. After a few moments of talking with someone, I see their emotions, their psychology, and the wounds that created illness. I will often work with that client's conscious mind to walk it along that inner landscape so that they can have a conscious understanding and participation in their healing. Having the personality present is so important because it helps repair their mental programming alongside of the wound. When I open up energetically for this process, I am allowing myself to take a step back from my physical mind and body to open up to a universal field of energy that is naturally whole and complete. As I align and resonate with that intense frequency vibration, it allows my client themselves to align with it. In that frequency, their previously limited state can now return to its restored whole state. But if I encounter something that needs a little more insight or intensity, I open myself up in the same way, but I fully step aside to allow the divine source energy, including my spirit guides, to work through me. This is easiest. If I can do this, you can do this too. I merely open up to a higher energy frequency. The same energy that I access for healing and spiritual awakening is the same energy running through your deepest nature right now. It's that simple. This message is in accordance with what I believe is Christ's real message. We are all Christ's. Aligning with the cosmic source energy is how we seek first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto us. Self-healing can be a path of spiritual awakening on its own. Many feel called to be an energy worker, but we can't make that first step unless we are willing to see deeply into ourselves, relieve and reprogram our negative thought patterns and limiting self-beliefs, and most importantly, to love ourselves. It is necessary to love ourselves so deeply that we extract ourselves from the effects of our past and develop the same depth of love for others. In this sense, brutal honesty becomes our best friend, strong enough to see past our delusions and into the depths of our true nature. There's a saying, if your love for humanity does not include yourself, then you've got it all wrong. Despite self-love, not just self-care, but developing so much that we start seeing transformations occurring in our lives. This is the easiest and best way to demonstrate the power of love and healing. I want to include in this section some noteworthy details of illness and healing. Having an understanding of this helps not only in your own healing practice, but in understanding that process with others. Before entering this life, we made an agreement to encounter certain difficulties or challenges, and this includes illnesses or injuries. Things like this are conditions of the soul. They're often called soul contracts. These things are for the person to encounter and transcend for their own life lessons. We cannot take these sorts of things away from people unless our intervention is in the contract. I just want someone to take it away so I don't have to deal with it anymore, said a client of mine. He said he was done and ready to move on, but in reality, he was just tired of carrying it as a burden. He hadn't looked at the whole of experiences life dealt him because he held so much fear in looking at those difficult times again. But by facing his past, he would eventually find his strength, healing, and transformation, but he was unwilling. Know that there is nothing we can do to take away people's life lessons. For some, they must face it themselves. Some illnesses or injuries come as karmic, an effect that occurs as a result of a cause. I don't like to think of karma as a punishment, but simply an effect from a cause, or a life lesson. Those two can be contractual, but not always. We might help a bit alleviating the intensity of the pain for others, but not all of it. In providing healing to others, we will find that some people, as much as they want healing, may not be open to it, or vice versa. Often they can retain a fear of how life will be after letting go of something they've held on to for so long. It's become so much a part of their life. I know some people who were so obsessed with their illness, often indicated by incessantly talking about it, that the subconscious mind grasped onto the illness so much it prevented healing energy from prying it loose from them. The person must be ready to let go. Believe it or not everybody wants to be healed, even when they say they do. Important questions to ask are, can this person's identity and illness be separated? I have seen some people develop illnesses in order to conjure sympathy from others, or even for themselves, because they never learned how to develop self-love. It usually comes first in the form of mental health issues, but injuries and illnesses come after. In this case, here we ask, what benefit are they deriving from their ailment? Some people struggle with their own sense of self-worth. We've talked about this, nothing new here. But here to them it means, am I worthy of being healed? Get the message from our higher selves or spirit guides. Make the changes necessary to have learned the lesson which gave us the illness to begin with, so that we can rid ourselves of the illness. Rarely, unless it's a soul contract, is it a life sentence. In the next video, we'll be exploring some of the key foundations required before healing can occur, as well as some basic healing techniques you can use for yourself. Also, if you're undergoing some life challenges, self-transformation, or spiritual awakening, you can book a one-on-one session with Julie or I for remote energy healing sessions and ascension guidance at www.dragonflyawakening.com. Until then, much light, love, and happiness to you always.